What are you doing this week as you get ready to play the playoff games, not knowing who it is you're playing?
Yeah, no, I think it's a good opportunity to really just focus on ourselves. Very few times during the season do you get to have like 2 practices, day off, and then 2 practices. And so just recommitting to the habits, the details, and the mindset, which I think you can't take for granted because everybody's 0-0 now. And, you have to be able to understand that you were a good team, but, it's kind of back to square one. So training camp-like mentality and trying to get after it for a couple of days.
Well, you will not be unfamiliar with any of the opponents you may end up facing. That we know. But at this time of year, what happens with other coaches on your staff and scouts as they do some of that advanced work ahead of those potential opponents?
Yeah, so all 4 coaches that have scouts have to treat it as if we're going to play that team. And so, they do a tremendous job of doing anything and everything possible to get ready for Saturday's practice. And, it's a thankless job because you could do 4 days worth of work and not have a scout, or you got to be ready to present the next day. So I appreciate, their work and getting us prepared for that.
Joe, what are your thoughts? The play-in tournament's been in play now for a couple of years. What are your thoughts on the tournament itself, and do you like it?
I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. I think it's whatever. No, I don't really have a control over it. I actually don't mind not knowing our opponent the entire week because it allows you to focus on yourself. It doesn't, I think sometimes, especially in coaching, if you know your opponent for the entire week, you got to balance how much you focus on yourself or how much you focus on them. But because of the situation that we're in, we won't know until Saturday. So we get 3 good practices of just kind of worrying about us. And I think that's what's best for our team right now.
Is there anything in particular that you're focused on that you would like to see improve before you get to a playoff game on Sunday?
Improve? I think just a little. I think just not taking the simple things for granted. I think, the way we kind of play, I don't think there's a big difference between a preseason game, a regular season game, and a playoff game outside of the everyone's paying attention now. And so can you do the simple things under a higher level of duress, under a higher level of physicality? But you can't lose sight of what's most important, and that's kind of the simple details, the margins, starting quarters, ending quarters, all the things that we try to work on throughout the season so that when the playoffs come, we are prepared for those. So we try to look at some of those processes towards winning as a part of our system throughout the year, and they just become a little bit more heightened under duress, under more physicality.
You just talked about the preparation, for the team, Joe. Do you feel more prepared as you go into your second go-around with the postseason maybe than you did last year at this time?
No, not really. I feel more like I've had a year under my belt. I feel like there's more experience. I think I would like to feel a level of growth every single year, and we should be doing something a little bit different every single year. So I think the one thing that's different from last year to this year is we've had a whole year with each other to where we can kind of create a shared mental model, a shared approach, a shared philosophy about how we're going to do things on a daily basis and how we're going to go into certain things. And so I expect that to be the case kind of every year as you just kind of learn and grow. And so we've had a year to do that, and we'll continue to kind of like an evolving door.
Joe, a lot of discussion about, the physicality in the NBA playoffs. Do you feel that your team is ready for the ramped-up physicality coming your way?
Yeah, absolutely. I do.
Well,
are we just going to ignore the fact that Zoe's on vacation?
We don't have to. You're free to bring that up at any time.
So just to let you know, Joe, Beetle promised that he was going to give me an introduction, so I didn't have to just, be asking the...
I said who was on the show
being the
today.
Random guy asking you questions
I said
in Zoe's absence.
I said off the top of the segment, Beetle, Paul Perillo, and Matt McCarthy here today. That's the crew.
Is that a proper introduction?
No, I didn't think so.
I'm sorry. Joe, say hello to Paul Perillo.
I've never met Joe Mazzulla, and he's been down at Patriots practices during training camp at times too, but I never had the opportunity to meet him.
So what's that, episode 10 from Curb Your Enthusiasm, where Larry's got to give the massage therapist a proper introduction to Springsteen?
Thank you.
And you doesn't do it?
You get it. Thank you very much.
So that was not a proper introduction.
Be better, Beetle.
No, I actually think I might have been on my phone and missed when Beetle said that.
See, now the truth comes out. I mean, you seem to keep track of those vacation days pretty well, Joe. You seem to be on top of this.
I mean, it's pretty obvious when he's in studio and when he's not in studio.
Yeah, if you could give us a ballpark figure, how many vacation days do you think Zoe has left this calendar year?
I don't even know how many one would get on a vacation days. Like, I don't even know how that works.
All right, let's say that over the course of a year he gets 25. How many of those do you think he's used recently? Because it feels like
he's got to have maybe 4 left.
Because this keeps happening where I'm here and I'm talking to you, and Zoe isn't.
I know.
He's elsewhere.
And then he comes back, and then you don't get a word in.
That too.
Joe!
Fair to say?
So it's almost like he's still here.
Yeah. Where were we?
Oh, man.
What else? You got anything?
I was going to ask you about Drew Holiday's contract extension and what you make of that and what he's meant to this team this year. And I know that we talked at the start of the year about how you really appreciated him as a player and a person and what it was to coach him. And now a full season in, an update on that.
I think it's a testament to him, just kind of who he is as a person. And I think to just our organization as a whole, to where, a guy goes through an experience of getting traded, coming to a place that's unknown and feels really comfortable throughout the year that he wants to commit to that, for his future. And so, I think he has a great humility about him. And, we try to create an environment for that. And anytime you can get retain talent, retain people who want to be here, I think that says a lot about the environment that we have. So I've really enjoyed coaching him. He's made me a better coach. And, he'll be around.
Joe, the end of the season allowed you the luxury of picking and choosing your lineups and getting some guys rest. Do you feel like that time off was beneficial for the frontline guys? Do you feel like you're going to be heading into the postseason sort of at as close to 100% as you could?
Yeah, I mean, if you were to say, if you were to sit here in training camp in October and November and be like, okay, what are your goals? And our goals are to get home court throughout the entire playoffs and be 100% healthy. We were able to achieve that. And so anything other than that, you're just speculating on if it's good for you or if it's not. And you don't really know what's good for you. You have to be able to just take from everything and be ready to go and get better every day. And I think our guys are healthy, and we've achieved our goal up until this point. And this week was about kind of getting back into our mindset of kind of square one and working through the details, the toughness, and the execution that's needed to try to achieve our last goal.
Joe, I saw you last week, and we always tend to land on talking about movies or TV shows or things of that nature.
Man, let's go.
So I went and watched Killers of the Flower Moon after I talked to you last week, and you thought it was a pretty good movie.
It was a great movie.
I'm going to tell you, the book is far superior to the film.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not even quite sure how that works. How can someone say a book is better than a movie? You know what I mean? Like one's a book, one's a movie.
But you like to read, so you appreciate books.
But I do, so I'm gonna read it. Why is the book better?
It's laid out better. There is obviously more detail in the book than there is in the movie. So there's more information to digest. There are more characters to keep track of. And I say characters, but these were real people. This is a non-fiction story that they made into the film. But it plays out far better in the book than it did in the film.
Really?
In fact,
I'm gonna read it.
I would have felt a little lost in the movie if I had not read the book.
Oh, really? So you read the book first, then the movie?
I read the book first, then I watched the movie, and I thought the movie was okay. I thought there was some tremendous acting in the movie, but I think the book and the story in the book is far better and is worth the time. It's worth the read.
All right.
If you like the movie, you're definitely going to like the book.
Okay, I'm going to read it.
I just wanted to update you on that. I could have texted
so next you got to go...
this was the place to do it. Yep.
So we'll review what? The Darkest Hour or Whiplash next?
I've seen Whiplash.
That's one of the top movies.
I need to see that. I hear it's incredible.
You've never seen
Whiplash?
I have not seen Whiplash. It's been out for like 10 years now.
And it's right up my alley too. And it's the guy who did La La Land, which is one of my favorites. I need to see it. No, it's like top
Whiplash
of my list.
Whiplash is kind of like one of the bigger fundamental questions of like, do you really have it in you the entire time, or like did you not? You know, like it's a really great example of like how you can develop somewhat of a coaching philosophy.
Yep, need to see it. It's right up my
Yeah, you gotta
alley.
watch it.
Honestly, it's a character flaw that I have not seen it. It's,
I would-
it's a reflection.
I wasn't gonna go that far, but I'd venture to agree with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I will go that far. It's definitely a flaw of mine.
You're a big Churchill guy, so Darkest Hour seems like a place we should go next.
Well, Darkest Hour was great because I had just went to London and been on to the War Museum, and so you were kind of able to see in the Darkest Hour like the different rooms that they spent their time in, and coming to some of the decisions that they had to come to.
I don't know that we could get Zoe to watch either of those two films.
Yeah.
He would love Whiplash.
I don't think he would.
What?
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't think it would hold his attention.
Attention span.
He's got a short
Yeah.
attention span.
Yeah.
Yeah, movies are not really his thing. The 20-minute episodes of The Office are his thing.
Michael Scott.
Michael Scott, funny.
You see, Toby hates Toby. Huh?
So is he a Curb guy then? Are you guys Curb guys?
Oh, everybody.
I'm a Curb
I have
guy.
not
don't-
watched
I like Curb.
I have not watched the most recent season of Curb. I have not caught up.
I tell you what, I have a hard time going through my day not looking at the lens of, oh, that's a Curb episode.
Of Larry David.
Yeah.
The Larry David
Yeah.
lens of life.
Yeah, it's very hard not to look through life in that.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you again next week. Good luck at the start of the
All right.
playoffs, and yeah, good luck, man.
Have a good week.
All right, crush it.
Hey, Dudo, when do you go on vacation? You even have vacation days?
No, I never. I'm always here. I'm like wallpaper.
Oh, wow.
Never leave.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Set
No
the
days
standard.
off. No days off, Joe. That's what I say.
All right, fellas.
All right, see ya.
Thanks, Joe.
Later.
Joe Mazzulla, Celtics head coach. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.